we're going to be playing a kind of a game, and Mr. Mike says he has had a bunch of success doing this in the past, so I would like to invite up 24 volunteers for this game, and I will explain it once we have our 24 people. So we are going to be making teams of 2, so if there's 2 people who want to come up together, I'll wait for 24 volunteers to come up to the stage.
Let me share an example of what happened. About 10 years ago, we had a similar experiment, and you will get randomly, we pick a little note that will be given to you. They are from atheist to Zoroastrianism. We don't know what you get. Whatever it is given randomly. For the next 10 to 15 minutes, you will act as if you're a Zoroastrian, Hindu, or a Muslim, or a Christian. Your words will be given to each one of you, and the team will read the words, and Rabia will call randomly to one team at a time and ask them to read the words that was given and explain what they understood. This is the way to understand other people. A lot of us hear things about other religions, we don't really read it. Until we read it, we don't know the truth. Finding the truth is your own responsibility, and it is very liberating. The first person that came up in Dallas was an African-American Baptist, Southern Baptist preacher. He walked up. I want to be in the program. And we got, the first thing we pulled was for atheism. He took it and he hesitated. We said, Pastor, you don't have to be an atheist for the next 20 minutes. You can give it back and walk back if you want to. That's entirely your choice. He said, no, I want to be. And then one of the here, how many of you know Rizwan Jaka here? He is the head of the Adams Center. Like that in Dallas we had Mr. Sulaiman. He was the head of all Muslim organizations. He got Hinduism and one got for Zoroastrianism. At the end, we will do this program. Let's go.
Mr. Mike definitely explained this more eloquently than I could have, so thank you so much. So, can I have my first pair of volunteers?
2. We need 2.
Please come up.
And be aware
Can I have the orange one?
center here.
First of all, let's give a big round of applause for Mike and his team. Thank you. 6. She has better English than me. My English is horrible.
Nanak says, may I be blessed with vision to realize your blessings in your order, and thus be a thankful offering to you, that your name, O timeless infinite being, may rise forever, and in thy will, may there be well-being of all humankind.
Here's my interpretation. You don't have to be really agree with me, but here's my interpretation. My interpretation is God created us from man and woman, from different tribes and countries, from different background and race, in order to do just for what? For one reason, in order to get to know each other. Now imagine if every single one of us, we all look the same, and every single one of us is just like having the license with the numbers. This life maybe just get boring, you know. But the God created us equal, and this is the country, this is nations where we become the strongest on earth for one reason, because we are equal in front of the God, and we have built these nations together, despite we are different. The only things that would make us different for one reason, so that we get to know each other. For example, I know my brothers over there, Mr. Bob, I could get to know just from this size. It's amazing. God make us so much different. Why? So that we could be able to get to know each other. That's all my question. Thank you very much.
She's in charge. She will call the names on random basis.
Okay.
Come to the center. Come to the center.
So this is from the Christian faith.
Can you go in the front, please, for this sound?
Do we not all have one Father? Has not one God created us? Why do we deal treacherously against each other, against his brothers, so as to profane the covenant of our fathers? Malachi 2:10.
The way that this verse is saying is that God has created all of us. We are one family, and in a family, why we fight with each other? We should see everybody, each other. Other is other. Other is not other, but is a divine brother. That will solve many of the problems. But on the funny side, I look at whatever in the family, when you have a larger family, many brothers they fight with each other, you know. There are some fights, but ultimately they love each other. That is the family. If all the brothers, they don't have agreement all the time, there will be disagreement among brothers. But we have to work it out with love and affection. That is what it is. This is a God who made us, who digests who runs our body, who makes blood from the food. That is the God, and we should respect each other.
What is your religion?
I am Hindu.
And you are?
I'm Muslim.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure, my name is Aparna and I'm a Hindu.
Give you a little. Okay.
Yeah, my name is Aparna and I'm a Hindu.
I'm Swati and I'm a Jain.
We are going to, this is from the Baha'i religion. Baha'i, inasmuch as this hatred and enmity, this bigotry and intolerance are outcomes of misunderstandings. The reality of religion, religious unity will appear when these misunderstandings are dispelled. This is from the Baha'i Foundation of World Unity, page 96.
Okay, so I'm going to explain it from what I get from it. And I think it's very simple, that intolerance and bigotry arise from misunderstanding of others. And so the only way we can overcome bigotry and intolerance is to understand one another. Communication. That's what I get from it. Thank you.
The problem is never religion, it is individuals.
Sure. I'm Beth Akiyama, and I'm a Scientologist.
This is from Jane.
A little bit closer.
This is from Jane. Right, faith, knowledge, and conduct are a way to salvation.
And what I got from this is that it's not only one thing or another. You have to have this combination of things, and that you have to trust in the fact that you can trust one another, and you can have faith, and you can then really learn about each other, and learn about your own religion, learn about spirituality, and learn about people and your mind and how things actually work, and not just take it from others. You know, when people are so negative, like we've seen in this last year, you just get ideas about it, but you have to actually know. You have to find out for yourself. And the conduct is also important, and how you all these three things seem to be it's saying it leads to salvation, because faith, knowledge, and conduct together, not just one of those things. That's what I got out of it.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Andrea, and I'm Jewish.
My name is Tariq. I'm a Muslim.
So this is Zoroastrian. It says that nature alone is good, which refrains from doing unto another whatsoever is not good for itself. From Zen Avesta 91:5.
It seems it is another version of the golden rule. However, to explain it, it's fairness. It really emphasizes fairness. So if you want to be treated fairly, you have to treat others fairly. At the same time, if you want to understand people or to be understood, you have to understand people first. So it's fairness. Once you have treated people fairly, you will accept them, and you will be accepted. You embrace them, you will be embraced. If you don't do this, it is not a good nature. So it will be contradictory to what is a good nature. That's it.
My name is Frank Smith, and I'm Christian.
John Faust, and I'm Christian.
Islam. Whole mankind created you from a male and a female, and made you into nations and tribes, that you may know one another. Verily, the most honorable of you with Allah is the one who has piety.
We think the reference to nations and tribes is intended to tell us that there's more than just ourselves, that we're part of a much broader community, and that Allah expects us to be pious and kind to others, and not just focus on what is in our own best interest.
I'm Prerna Feinberg, and I'm Jewish.
Chuck Feinberg, and I'm Jewish.
We go together. And we have from Scientology. The hardest task one can have is to continue to love his fellows despite all reasons he should not. And the true sign of sanity and greatness is to so continue. From L. Ron Hubbard.
And I think what one of the meanings of this teaching is that loving is difficult, and often we have resistance to loving others. We can come up with all kinds of reasons we should not love others, but according to Mr. Hubbard, the true sign of sanity and greatness is to continue to love even when we have those feelings of resisting to love.
Thanks, Reverend.
My name is Alan, and I'm Mormon. My name is Rashid Hassan. I'm a Muslim. I rather say I'm a person of faith.
And right now we are relatives of the Feinbergs because we're both Jewish. So here we go. You shall not hate your kinsman in your heart. Reprove your neighbor, but incur no guilt because of him. You shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against your kinsfolk. Love your neighbor as yourself. I am Adonai.
So I just learned today that Adonai is the name of God. So this is the word of God, and I think it basically talks about that we need to treat our neighbors and our kinsmen in a similar fashion, with kindness and not any hatred. As well as whenever we need to reprove them, we do it in a way that is a positive way to do it. I think as I read this one, there's a sense of unity in faith. There's a similar verse in the Quran where God says, it as a korban, meaning that be kind to those who are near to you. Now, in a classical understanding, many people will say nearness means your relative or your family. But in today's global village, everybody is near to one another. We live in the world, this planet, very tiny planet. So I think we should consider all of us, the 6 billion people, as our neighbors. And I think we can really take lesson from this, that we should be thinking of all of us as neighbors.
I'm Fatima Arkan, and I'm a secular Muslim.
I'm Sami Jadallah. I'm also a secular Muslim.
So I have a Hindu saying, the one who loves all intensely begins perceiving in all living beings a part of himself. He becomes a lover of all, a part and parcel of the universal joy. He flows with the stream of happiness and is enriched by each soul. And this comes from the Yajur Veda. Did I pronounce that right?
Yajur Veda.
Okay. So what that means to me is that there is a common spirit that runs through all of us. And what this is all about, why we're here, is it's all about respecting, and it's how you treat other people. And that's what I get out of this.
I also believe that human values has no color and no faith. So I think this is what we need to commit ourselves to, human values. And I have this about atheism. Life fulfillment emerges from individual participation in the service of human ideals. And I think, again, that human values across all faith and all color and all nations. So there's good in every one of us, no matter what. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Zafar Iqbal, Muslim.
I'm Nasreen Khan, Muslim.
I got a note from Buddhists is that radiate boundless love toward the entire world, above, below, and across, unhindered, without ill will, without enmity. Lord Buddha.
In nutshell, this is what I got. Love is all around you. Love all. You want to treat others as you want to be treated.
I just would know that the Buddhist teachings, what I understand is that be humble and do not get yourself attached very clearly to worldly things. Share your love with everybody.